great to meet you. This movie was kick-ass. I loved it. And I want to say, I'm not a gamer, so I had no idea about this Ubisoft game, this virtual game. Was it something that you knew about, or was it after you read the script, you kind of were more intrigued?
Oh, I had no idea. Did not know it existed. Didn't know how popular or otherwise the game was, but I did get to play it once I landed the gig and was certainly asking Ubisoft, hey, what do I owe you? Should I, imbue this movie with Easter eggs? And they were like, not necessarily. No, we just want to make a good movie.
Yeah,
The script is good. Let's deliver.
that's amazing. I love it. And then you hit the jackpot with this amazing cast. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously, were you even like just like flabbergasted how everybody just went, yeah, I'm in?
Well, not everybody, like everybody, when you kind of shoot for your De Niro's, De Niro would have made a great werewolf.
He
But yeah,
would have.
the fact
Yeah.
that Howell, the fact that everybody agreed to do this movie, like all these comedic heroes and
Yeah.
also heroes of the independent, drama world and stage world, Rebecca Henderson,
Yeah.
Cheyenne Jackson, Michael Chernus notwithstanding, it meant a great deal to me. And also, too, a few of them are buddies. Like I've known Milana Weintraub and George Basil. I've known them for the better part of a decade. And I was so thrilled to be able to bring my friends,
Yeah.
into this sort of scenario. So like, hey, worst case scenario, there's drama on set. I at least have two buddies who I've known for a while who I can, fall into their arms crying. But
Absolutely.
luckily that never happened.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad. Well, I hope they were falling into arms crying from laughing so hard. How did
I
they
hope
keep?
so.
How did you all keep a straight face and get through half of this stuff?
We didn't all the time. I mean, I certainly, I rarely can. I'm such an open nerve, I'm such a raw nerve with these,
Yeah.
with everything that I do. Cause I don't do anything I'm not emotionally invested in, which is really the way you should do it if you're directing. And,
Sure.
it was impossible to hold it in, and also flabbergasting to watch these, greatly comedic actors play emotional stakes, heightened stakes, horror scares. That was really thrilling to watch.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you because when you're making a horror comedy like this, you have to keep a balance. You don't want to make it too funny, but you don't want to make it too scary. What kind of challenge was that for you?
The humor isn't quite the challenge for me. That I actually feel very in tune with as a comedian of sorts.
Yeah.
Having humor in my bones, I guess it were. It's my superpower. The scares are another thing. Like I'm still learning. I'm still learning the chemistry of all of that. So that was a bit more, I don't want to say tricky or even difficult, but it was definitely something where I sort of straightened up and got examining about, and wanted to do right and well.
Well, you did, because I mean, I'm laughing 1 minute, and the next thing I'm jumping, like, and it was great. And I'm not a horror fan, but I love these kinds of films because you
Mm.
do have that comedic relief. So thank you for that. I want to ask you too, what is it about small towns in the winter that makes great fodder for these kinds of films?
Well, it's hysterical to watch my producers just agonize, over the volatility of the weather and to watch my cast wipe out on ice and break ass. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's just how the schedule just sort of worked out. I think I'm kind of finding my brand, unfortunately. Contained winter resentment in these sort in
It
these
works for you. Hey, if it
hey,
broke, don't fix it, right?
if I could stay in the genre and make a living working with these incredible people and doing interesting stuff, I'm happy to keep shooting in the cold. I mean, I'm from the area first of all, so I have a personal connection with the Hudson Valley and
Yeah.
with that area in particular. And it served the story. It was what the story called for, so we had to go to where the snow was. And though the weather was a bit volatile, though we did have some stuff to battle. I mean, we're mostly in one location, if not
Right.
two, and on Main Street, for the sort of the end. And it worked out, thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Do you think we all do have werewolves within us?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's why I love so much about horror, especially, growing up, shielding myself against bullies, watching horror movies like, Dream Warriors as an example, Freddy Krueger film, and just watching like the underdogs fight back against evil forces. You know, that chubby, friendless kid had a werewolf within, to the degree of like, oh, I wish I could channel it to like fight back against the mean old bullies in my life, but also we're seeing in the world, like there's a lot of
Yeah,
villainous werewolves within, that we all have kind of a monster within us all. And it's, I think, quite relevant, without nailing the hitting the nail too hard on the head, how unfortunately relevant it is, when
yeah,
backed into a corner, forced to face our own flaws and the like them.
absolutely. Well, I think you've done a great job. The only thing missing for me was Cheyenne Jackson not breaking into a song and dance routine.
I
Come on,
know.
dude,
Oh
really?
man, I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him. Funny story. I saw him. My intro to him was because I was teaching improv and like doing these sort of these like teaching kids shows, or teaching kids like improv and theater games based on certain Broadway shows forever ago, at a program called Camp Broadway. There might be
Yes.
5 people who know what I'm
Oh,
talking about.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm a Broadway geek. I know everything about Broadway. Yeah.
Okay, so well, All Shook Up was one of those shows that I got to see for free, and then had to like take, that my students would like go see for free or whatever. Kids come from the tri-state area to see, and that was the first time I saw Cheyenne Jackson, and then sort of learned about him through like United 93 and kind of his continuing Broadway career. And so when
Yeah.
Harvey Guillen suggested Cheyenne play his husband, I was like, I can't believe I never would have thought of that. And
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled that Harvey had suggested it. And yes, it's a shame. It's a shame he didn't bust in a song and dance, but maybe that'll be, the next project, a
I was going
musical
to say
genre within.
that's your next project for sure. Well, look, I thank you so much for your time today. I really, like I said, best of luck with the film, especially at the festival coming up, and just have yourself a great weekend. And I hope to meet you in person someday soon. Come to Toronto when the borders are open. Okay.
I'd love that. Amen, Bonnie. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Have a good one. Thanks for your
You
time, Josh.
too.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Bonnie.